Thank you for venturing into the shadows with us today. If the tales we've whispered have sent shivers down your spine, and you yearn for more unsolved mysteries and ghostly encounters, remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps ensure that more chilling stories find their way to you. The unassuming townhouse at 50 Berkeley Square whispers tales of the uncanny. Its stoic Georgian architecture belies a tumultuous past, one that has led to its notoriety as the most haunted house in London. This historical analysis ventures beyond the facade, into the spine-chilling annals of the property, to uncover the sinister happenings that have cemented its place in England's paranormal lore. The history of 50 Berkeley Square, a townhouse in Mayfair, London, is as rich and varied as the city itself. Constructed in the 1750s, the building's early years were marked by its status as a residence for the upper echelons of society, including George Canning, who briefly served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. However, the building's notoriety truly began with the tenancy of Mr. Thomas Myers, a reclusive individual whose tragic personal history is said to have left an indelible mark on the property. Mr. Myers, jilted by his fiancée, is reported to have become a hermit, confining himself to the upper rooms of the house and only venturing out at night. His behavior and the subsequent neglect of the property contributed to a growing sense of unease, and a reputation for being haunted. By the late 19th century, the house had fallen into disrepair, and stories of its hauntings had begun to circulate widely. The legend of 50 Berkeley Square was further cemented by a series of tragic events and paranormal encounters. One of the most harrowing tales is that of a maid who allegedly died of fright after encountering a ghostly apparition within the house. Her screams are said to occasionally echo through the square to this day. Another story involves a nobleman, Captain Kentfield, who is also rumored to have met an untimely end within the walls of the property under mysterious circumstances. Perhaps the most famous account is that of Sir Robert Warboys, who, driven by a desire to debunk the myths surrounding the house, spent a night in the supposedly haunted room. The following morning, he was found dead, with a look of terror on his face and a bullet hole in the wall, evidence of his attempt to defend himself against something unseen and malevolent. The house's haunted reputation was further enhanced by the experience of Lord George Littleton in 1872, who claimed to have encountered a shadowy figure with tentacles, a description that has led some to speculate about the presence of a cryptid or other supernatural entity. This account was echoed in 1887 when two sailors broke into the house and reportedly came face to face with a similar creature, resulting in the death of one of the intruders. In the early 20th century, the famous paranormal investigator Harry Price took an interest in 50 Berkeley Square, conducting an investigation that he claimed pointed to the presence of a malevolent poltergeist. While his findings were not definitive, they added a layer of intrigue to the house's already mysterious history. The stories of 50 Berkeley Square have been immortalized in literature and have become a part of London's cultural fabric. The house has been the subject of debate and fascination, with its history intertwined with the broader narrative of London's development and the changing tastes and styles of its architecture. Nestled in the affluent district of Mayfair, 50 Berkeley Square was erected in the mid-18th century, a period marked by elegance and the rise of neoclassical design. The house's early years were unremarkable, playing host to the fashionable elite of London society. It was the residence of George Canning, who served as the British Prime Minister for a brief period before his untimely death. Yet, this connection to political grandeur did little to shield the house from its impending infamy. The dark narrative that clings to 50 Berkeley Square began with the residence of Mr. Thomas Myers, a man of mysterious origins and tragic fate. Having been forsaken at the altar, Mr. Myers reportedly spiraled into madness, becoming a hermit within the walls of his once grand home. It is said that he spent his days and nights in an upper room, dimly lit by candlelight, with his presence in the house rarely observed save for the occasional nocturnal wanderings. His reclusiveness bred rumors, and his forsaken love story lent a gothic romance to the property. The local council's lawsuit for delinquent rates was dismissed, an early indication that the house's eerie reputation was widely recognized. By the closing years of the 19th century, the once majestic townhouse had succumbed to decay, with the echoes of Mr. Myers' despair believed to permeate its derelict halls. Over time, the legend of 50 Berkeley Square grew, with each subsequent inhabitant adding layers to its ghostly narrative. A family, whose tenure was cut short by the sudden death of a maid, allegedly frightened to death by an apparition, and the mysterious demise of a nobleman, became a part of the building's tragic tapestry. The maid's scream is still reported by some to be heard reverberating through the night. The skeptic who sought to disprove the haunting was reportedly driven to insanity. Sir Robert Warboys, enticed by the thrill of the unknown, supposedly spent the night only to meet his end, a bullet lodged in the wall, the sole witness to his final moments. The supernatural encounters at 50 Berkeley Square took on an even more sinister aspect with the arrival of Lord George Littleton in 1872. His brush with what he described as a nebulous, tentacled entity added a monstrous dimension to the house's haunted history. The subsequent tale of two sailors confronting a similar slimy apparition in 1887, leading to one's death, has fueled speculation that the haunting might be attributed to more than just the disembodied spirits of the past. Harry Price, a noted ghost hunter of the early 20th century, investigated 50 Berkeley Square, attributing the hauntings to a particularly malevolent poltergeist. His findings, while not conclusive, added a layer of scientific curiosity to the folklore that surrounded the property. The supposed ceiling of the second-floor rooms, a tale that remains unverified, only added to the mystery and allure of the haunted house. The tales of horror at 50 Berkeley Square have found their way into literature, including the pen of the famed ghost story author, M.R. James, and the pages of the journal Notes and Queries. The house's fame as a site of spectral happenings has been debated, dramatized, and dissected, contributing to its undying presence in London's cultural memory. Today, 50 Berkeley Square stands as a testament to London's rich and eerie history. Its reputation as the home of malevolent spirits continues to captivate the imagination of the public and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Despite numerous changes in ownership and the passage of time, the house's spectral residents seem to linger, their stories forever entwined with the creaking floorboards and dimly lit rooms of this Mayfair mansion. As we conclude our in-depth historical examination of 50 Berkeley Square, we are left with a narrative that is as captivating as it is chilling. The house's journey from high society to the haunted annals of London lore is a stark reminder of how closely history and mystery can be interwoven. Whether the tales of terror are the product of genuine paranormal activity or the vivid imaginations of those who've passed through its doors, the legacy of 50 Berkeley Square remains as enduring and enigmatic as the spirits that are said to inhabit it.